गुणातीतो अक्षरं ब्रह्म भगवान् पुरुषोत्तमः जनो जानन्निदं सत्यं मुच्यते भवबन्धनात्. Today, on the occasion of the 17th Annual Global Healthcare Summit, my heartiest namaskars and pranam to all the delegates of this conference today. And well, the topic shared with me, work-life balance. And I tell you, it's always very much inspiring and energizing to be in the midst of doctors. Because way back in 1987, I did secure an admission in the medical college at MP Shah Medical College in Jamnagar, at the Pramukh Swami Medical College in Karamsad. But I opted for engineering with the reason that I wanted to go for my UPSC. And in the midst of that, our Guru Pramukh Swami Maharaj inspired me and asked me to be a saint. So since 32 years, I am a saint and being with the society, for the society. Well, when the topic shared with me today is work-life balance, we live in this 20th and 21st century. That these are the times of fancier houses but broken homes. These are the times of perhaps double incomes and more divorces. These are the times where man has gone all the way to the moon and has come back. But he finds it difficult to cross the road and meet the new neighbor. These are the times where we have broader highways but narrow viewpoints. Well, the list is very long describing the state of affairs of the 20th century man, the 21st century man, but in short you can say that these are the times where you have much to show in the show window and nothing in the stockroom. मतलब दिखाने के लिए हमारे पास बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, लेकिन मन में थोड़े पवित्र विचार, बुद्धि में शुद्ध विचार कम होते जा रहे हैं. And we live in that circumstances, and we being medical professionals, it's always a loaded day. Every day is a loaded day. सुबह से शाम तक हम काम करते हैं, जिम्मेदारी है, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज हैं, एक इमोशनल कनेक्ट है पेशेंट्स के साथ. And we also run hospitals, hostels, schools, college and everything. We are one of the largest NGOs of the world with a permanent seat in the United Nations as an NGO. We run more than 1,500 hospitals, hostels, schools, colleges, community centers, sanskar kendras, akshardhams. How many of you have been to Swaminarayan Akshardham at New Delhi here in Noida? Just raise your hands if you've been there, like most of you. I come from that organization. So we know what is administration, we know what is HR, we know what is management. Because day in and day out, we are fully involved into it. What I'm doing now, talking to people, is just my hobby and selfless service to society. So I know what is work-life balance. And we definitely must keep a work-life balance. When I talk to professionals, I tell them, we are not the visiting card that we hold. Right or wrong? We are not the car that we drive. We are not the house that we live in. We are first human beings and then professionals. How many of you agree with this? We are first human beings and then professionals. Everybody of us. So first being a human being and then a professional, we must definitely try to carve out a work-life balance. Otherwise, this 70, 80-year game will just pass away. And if we don't keep a work-life balance, it could result into severe tiredness, result into severe stresses. It could result into burnouts, ultimately into depression. Maybe it can lead to suicide as well. Work is necessary and important in life, but it is not everything in life. But the biggest problem with the 21st century man I've been to more than 5,000 national and international conferences all over the world. I've met n number of professionals in my life. The biggest problem with the 21st century professional is he wants to identify himself in the society with his work achievements. With his achievements at workplace, he wants to identify and create a space in the hearts and minds of people. And that is the biggest mistake. When you want to identify yourself with your work only, you have not understood work-life balance. Being a doctor or being a healthcare professional, I think we are also a father to somebody, a brother to somebody, a mother to somebody, a sister to somebody, a son or a daughter to somebody, isn't it? A friend and a relative and a neighbor to somebody. We are equally responsible for all those relationships. We have to find time, we have to give energy, use our resources for these relationships as well. Do you agree with me or not? As you take care of your patients, you must be taking care of your parents and children as well. As you have some emotional connect with your patients, you have emotional connect with your neighbor or your relative or your cousin or your friend. You need to spend some amount of energy and resources and time in those relationships as well. So, understanding all these aspects, we need a proper work-life balance. Otherwise, work. For this, right from early childhood, we have been taught in school a proverb that perhaps we forgot when we became hardcore professionals. And the proverb was, all work and no play makes, say it loudly, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Yeah, boring boy as well. Any adjective you can add to it. So we need an equal amount of both. By the word play in this word, it's not just sports. It's every other relationship care other than your professionals. That is professional relationships. Otherwise, the long-term stress effect is a burnout. It's an emotional exhaustion. It's depersonalization. And doctors are prone to it very quickly because they have long packed days, time pressures, an emotional connect with their patients. So, a work-life balance is needed. What is that work-life balance? Let's talk practical now. Out of all my travels and my readings and my meeting with people, I've come to a conclusion, designed a formula. And the formula is 8 plus 8 plus 8. Of the 24 hours that you have in a day, it should be well distributed into 8 plus 8 plus 8 system. First 8 hours is your honest, ethical hard work in whichever profession you are. Second 8 hours is a good sleep and rest. Because sleep is your best health care. Right or wrong? Sleep is any person's best health care. So second 8 hours is a good sleep or rest. Third 8 hours are very important. Now listen this carefully. Third 8 hours are very important. If you can live it well by designing it well, you stand a good chance of a work-life balance and thus a win in your life. And if you can't live it well, you may stand probably a chance to lose your life. What are those third 8 hours? In that third 8 hours, we preach 3F, 3H, and 3S. 3F is family, friends, faith. 3H is health, hygiene, hobby. And 3S is soul, service, and smile. In these 9 departments, you should be spending your 38 hours of the day, of course, into fragments. But that is a perfect work-life balance. So the third 8 hours are important. 3F, 3H and 3S. Repeat with me what I say. 3F. A louder one. Family, friends, faith. 3H. Health, hygiene, hobby. 3S. Soul, service, smile. In these 9 departments, you should be spending your third 8 hours. Of course, as I said, into fragments during the whole day. This is called a well-lived, balanced life. Work is such that if you start at 5 a.m. in the morning and work till 12 at midnight, it is going to be there right in front of you on your table. You have to put a bar somewhere. You have to put a physical bar somewhere. You have to put a time bar somewhere. How many of you agree with this point of putting a bar somewhere? Everybody of us, a physical time and a time bar. And if you can't put a physical bar and a time bar, you are going to exhaust yourself, you are going to lose yourself, and you are not going to enjoy the greatest joy upon this earth. According to a Harvard study, the greatest joy upon this earth is spending quality and quantity time with your near and dear ones, whom you love and respect, who loves and respects you, is the greatest joy upon this earth. You're going to miss out on that joy. And of course, all the responsibility of all the patients of your faculty doesn't lie in your hands, isn't it? If all the patients of this entire city of Delhi, of your faculty, comes to your place, what will happen to you? You will not just come to me, you will become one like me. You will have to. So what I mean is, you have to put a bar somewhere a physical bar, somewhere a time bar. Otherwise, you will not be able to manage your life. You lose your life and stress. As I said, we also work. This is my 4th conference in the 4th city on the 4th day. I talked at Raipur, Chhattisgarh. I talked at Mumbai. Yesterday I talked to 3,000 chartered accountant students at Club 07 in Ahmedabad, and today I'm in Delhi. Tomorrow I'll be in Guwahati, Assam. So everybody has to work, but he has to maintain a proper work-life balance. So this is 8 plus 8 plus 8. So get to work on time. See, now what I'm speaking, these 2 sentences are the golden ones in my entire talk. If you don't remember anything else in my talk, you must remember these 3 sentences that I speak. Get to work on time. Work effectively during your working hours, and get back to your family on time. Again, I'm repeating. Get to work on time, work very effectively during your working hours, and get back to your family on time. It's not, if you care, if you make it practical. As I said, you have to put a physical bar, you have to put a time bar. Otherwise, you are going to lose yourself. What is sugar to a diabetic patient is work alcoholism to a professional. What is sugar to a diabetic patient is over-attachment to work and work achievement to a professional. As sugar can kill a diabetic patient, work alcoholism can kill you. So as a human being, we must definitely take care of this aspect. We are human beings. We are the topmost sitting living entities in the entire animal kingdom. And we are the only living entities upon this earth that we have been gifted rather by God with the power to think. The power to collect information. The power to transform that information into knowledge. And ultimately transform that knowledge into wisdom. So if we don't convert our information and knowledge into wisdom, we are not human beings. We did not utilize the gift by God to us, and we are like any other animals, which we don't want to be. So wisdom-filled talk is this. We have seen our Guru Pramukh Swami Maharaj. He was a one-man organization. He created 1,300 institutions of social service in a span of 45 years. So every 15th day, he gifted an institute of social service to the society. Imagine getting a land or purchasing a land and creating a hospital, a hostel, school, college, community center, any of this institute, and dedicating it to the society every 15th day for 45 years. Any of you doctors sitting here, have you met or seen or heard of any doctor starting a new clinic in a new city every 15th day? Can you imagine of this? Can you imagine of this? Even if you start imagining, you will start experiencing high blood pressure. Pramukh Swami Maharaj, you can Google him. He created an institute of social service every 15th day of his life for 45 years, and thus creating 1,300. One of them is the Swaminarayan Akshardham in Delhi. So you can imagine the amount of meetings that he got engrossed into, amount of planning and execution that he got engrossed into, the number of people and professionals that he sat, talked and discussed with and met with. Along with that, he read and answered more than 7.5 lakh letters at an unbelievable average of reading and answering more than 50 letters a day without a Sunday for 45 years, and responsible answering. If tomorrow morning when you go to office and you have 15 mails to answer before lunchtime, what happens to you? You'll go mad. He traveled all this in the same time. He traveled to more than 18,000 villages, towns and cities in 60 countries of the world. He initiated 1,100 saints like us. He created a volunteer force of 80,000. And I tell you, all this, surprisingly and inspiring for all of us, he did it after the age of 51. These all statistics are from the age of 51 to 95. But when we are talking of work-life balance, in the midst of so much of working, every morning when he sits for 40 minutes in his morning puja chanting the holy name of God, you feel that he has come upon this earth for nothing else than chanting the holy name. And 2 hours after that, when he is sitting in an administrative meeting, you feel that he has come upon this earth for nothing else except administration and management. Clear demarcation of work-life balance that we could see personally in his life. Warren Buffett, the richest person upon this earth with 63 companies under Berkshire Hathaway. When he was asked in an interview, he said, from morning 9 to evening 6, I am a businessman. Listen this carefully, this is very interesting. Berkshire Hathaway is the flagship company with more than 63 companies, 63 CEOs working under him. Many of these companies are in the Fortune 500 list. Warren Buffett goes, when he was asked by a journalist, his daily schedule, he said that from morning 9 to evening 6, I'm a businessman. From evening 6 to 9, I'm a family person. And from evening 9 to 10, I'm a spiritual identity. Work-life balance. A perfect work-life balance. He says, I get up from my table at 6. I know if I sit more, I can work more. I can expand my business more. But he said, I don't want to eat or drink curry in the evening made up of liquid gold. You have to put a bar somewhere. Otherwise, you will lose yourself. Definitely that physical and time bar helps you in being more human. And as I said, during your working hours, you can work explicitly, energetically, smartly, well aided by technique to produce your results, to get your results. So this is how a work-life balance has to be maintained. Second aspect of work-life balance. Again, the biggest mistake that professionals make. I've been talking of this to professionals in more than thousands of seminars in the last 30 years. A big mistake that professionals make is they're constantly in a competitive mode. अरे यार, मेरे साथ वो मेरे ग्रेड का था, मेरे क्लास का था, मेरे बैच का था, वो यहाँ तक पहुँच गया, वहाँ तक पहुँच गया, सैलरी ये बन गई, प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल चालू कर दी. Where am I? कंपटीशन में कभी मत रहना. Give the best of yourself to your work and life. Results should not bring stress and tension. So never be in a competitive mood. वो आपको डिस्ट्रॉय करेगा. बी इन एन इंस्पायरिंग मोड, एन इंस्पायरिंग एक्सेप्टेंस मोड. किसी का कोई अचीवमेंट आपने देखा सुना, इंस्पिरेशन लेना, कंपटीशन मोड में कभी मत आना. इफ यू फॉरगेट द कंपटीशन एंड द कॉन्ट्रास्टिंग मोड एंड स्विच ओवर टू कोलैबोरेटिंग एंड कोऑपरेटिंग मोड, you will experience a calm and a cool mind. That is a work-life balance. See, we are laboring at work. We are not enjoying work. ये दोनों अलग बात होती है. We are laboring at work. We are not enjoying work. You only enjoy your work when you are not in a competitive mode. You are in a collaborating and cooperative mode. तो ही बात बनेगी, तो ही जीवन में आनंद रहेगा, और तो ही प्रॉपर वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस मेंटेन होगा. एक ये बात है. ये स्वामीनारायण अक्षरधाम प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज ने 2005 में उद्घाटित किया. भारत के प्रधानमंत्री श्री मनमोहन सिंह जी थे, मंच पे साथ में बैठे थे. डॉक्टर एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम साहब थे, प्रेसिडेंट भारत के, वे भी मंच में साथ में बैठे थे. अपोजिशन लीडर थे एल के अडवाणी जी, ही वाज आल्सो देयर. And who's of India were in the campus in the opening ceremony, and live telecast in more than 150 countries. प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज दिल से बोले. उनके चेहरे पे ये साफ दिखता था, उनकी आंखों में ये भाव प्रकाशित होता था. प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज बोले, ये अक्षरधाम हमने स्पर्धा से नहीं बनाया है. किसी के साथ हमारी स्पर्धा नहीं है. ये हमने भक्ति भाव से बनाया है. लोगों का जीवन उन्नत बने इसलिए बनाया है. यहां आके लोगों को जीवन जीने की प्रेरणा मिले इसलिए बनाया है. स्पर्धा से नहीं बनाया. प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज को किसी ने कहा कि वहां कोई मॉन्यूमेंट में इतने लोग जाते हैं, उस मॉन्यूमेंट में इतने लोग जाते हैं, हमारे अक्षरधाम में इतने लोग जाते हैं. प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज ने तुरंत कहा, यह कंपटीशन में कभी मत पड़ना. जिनको जहां जाना है जाते हैं. Why are you concerned that X number of people are going at some place, Y number of people are going at another monument, and Z number of people are coming at this place? Forget it. So ये कभी मत सोचना कि उसके पास कितने पेशेंट जाते हैं. डॉक्टर बन के कोई स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ बैठे, उनको तो अभी से हमारी कुछ एडवाइस है, और आप डॉक्टर्स हैं, उनके लिए भी कोई ये थोड़ी बात है. कभी ये मत सोचना कि यार ये पेशेंट उसके पास ज्यादा जाते हैं, मेरे पास कम आते हैं, क्यों ऐसा होता होगा. Forget competition and you will reduce stress to 50% in life. You will reduce burnout to 50% in life. Another good formula that I have designed with you, I like to share with you. I think I'm into the last 5 minutes of my talk. I've been given 30 minutes and I'll be in the last 5-7 minutes. एक अनदर अच्छी फॉर्मूला मैं आपसे अनुरोध करना चाहूंगा कि आप समझदारी की दृष्टि से ये फॉर्मूला अपने हृदय में अच्छी तरह से, ठीक तरह से अंकित कर ले. And that also formula, after all my travels and readings, I've read more than 500 books of inspirations, all autobiographies and biographies of Nelson Mandela, George Washington, Pramukh Swami Maharaj, Winston Churchill, Sachin Tendulkar, everybody. From all these autobiographies, I have designed a formula, a mathematical formula that I would like to share with all of you. And that formula is the formula of 40, 30, 20, 10. ये चार मिला के कितने होते हैं? 40, 30, 20, 10, 100. Now listen carefully. This 40, 30, 20, 10 formula is, of all the work that you decide in your life and all the relationships that you start in your life, 40% will go your way. Enjoy it. Of all the work that you have decided in your life and of all the relationships that you have started in your life, 30% will require extra energy, extra resources, extra inputs for maintenance, or to just go on and finish the job. So that is the 30%. So it comes to 40 plus 30 is 70. Now listen carefully. 20% of all the work that you have decided in your life and all the relationships that you have started in your life are bound to get spoiled. Accept it. हम यहां मार खाते हैं और स्ट्रेस और तनाव में आ जाते हैं. I'm talking something very practical. I'm talking something very human. I'm talking something very spiritual. 20% of all the relationships that you have decided and developed and started in your life, and 20% of all the work that you have started in your life are bound to get spoiled. Accept it. आज तक का आपका जीवन देखे, उसमें ये परसेंटेज बैठता है? हाँ या ना? Yes or no? बैठेगा. कितने बने? 90. 10% of all the work that you have decided in your life are bound to bring you heavy losses. Maybe it are investments or other resources. And 10% of all the relationships that you have started in your life are bound to get converted into competition or severe enmity. Accept it. जिगर जान मित्र जानी दुश्मन बन जाता है, स्पर्धक बन जाता है, आपका बैकबाइटर बन जाता है. हाँ या ना? So this is the formula of 40, 30, 20, 10. Accept it. Live with it. So any work that is spoiled, try to improve it. Once, twice, and thrice. And by the time of 6 months, giving it 3 attempts to the work and the relationship, if it doesn't get improved, put it in that 20 and 10 category, forget it, live it, and keep walking on the other path. As simple as that. And the best practical mode is, 6 महीने तक आपने कोई रिलेशनशिप बिगड़े, उसको सुधारने का प्रयत्न किया, 3 अटेम्प्ट दिए अपनी ओर से और नहीं सुधरा, तो प्रैक्टिकल टिप तो यह है कि सबसे पहले मोबाइल में से वो नंबर डिलीट कर देना, ताकि बार बार वो स्क्रीन पे ना आए और मन को डिस्टर्ब ना करे. No person upon this earth from time eternity, and I'm forecasting till time eternity, will be able to put his hand on his chest and tell to the world that all the work that I decided in my life, I did it successfully. And all the relationships that I started in my life, I carried on successfully. We are human beings. We have human instincts. Except that humans say, "अरे यार उसने मेरे साथ ये क्यों किया? वो 10% कैटेगरी वाला है. अरे यार काम क्यों बिगड़ गया? वो 20% कैटेगरी वाला है." You know why? Why this happens? Shall I tell you a reason? Proper one. The reason is God did not sign an MOU with you when He sent you upon this earth. भगवान ने जब आपको इस पृथ्वी पे भेजा तब आपके साथ MOU साइन नहीं किया था कि जा बच्चा पृथ्वी पे जाएगा, जो कुछ करेगा ठीक ठीक चलेगा. Nobody has an MOU. Life has everything to give you. So, when you accept this, you don't go into stress. You don't go into depression. You maintain a proper balance of mind and emotional equilibrium at your workplace. And you enjoy your work. And you enjoy a proper work-life balance. और उस तरफ लाइफ की बात है, get back to your family on time. Family dinner रोज enjoy करना. Family dinner रोज रात को 11 बजे पहुंचे, 10, साढ़े 10 बजे पहुंचे, 11:30 बजे पहुंचे. 5 working days out of in the whole month, you have an exemption of reaching after 10, 10:30 or 11 at night because you had a lot of work today. Some emergencies crept in, fine, accepted. Another 2, 3 days you are exempted because of the traffic. Bade shahar mein rehte ho. 17 to 18 working days in a month, if you cannot get back to your family for family dinner at 8:30 p.m., let me tell you on face today that you are a very poor manager of time and work. Absolutely a poor manager of time and work. When our Guru, Motivational Swami Maharaj, the present Guru of the organization, in the year 2017, when he visited the United States, the ex-president Barack Obama invited him to his office in Washington. Motivational Swami Maharaj did visit his place on his kind invitation, and both greats were sitting and having a conversation. At that time, Barack Obama told Motivational Swami Maharaj that this is very interesting when it comes to work-life balance. Barack Obama goes that I enjoyed 2 terms of presidency. He was the president of the United States for 2 terms, 4-year terms, so he was for 8 years. Now this sentence which I speak can or has the possibility of creating a spark in your heart, in your mind. Barack Obama says that in my 8 years of presidency, there has not been a single day where at 6:30 or max 7 p.m. in the evening, me, my wife and my 2 daughters, we have not sat together for a family dinner in my 8 years of presidency, except when I'm touring outside the country. If Barack Obama can have a family dinner in his years of presidency, almost every day with his family, and that too at a stipulated time, I think we must try to introspect today at this point. If you can for even 10 days in a month, I think you are more busier than Barack Obama. And grant me the permission and liberty to think that of you. So if you decide you can from a proper work-life balance. As I said, 3F, family, friends and faith. 3H is health, hygiene, hobby. You are healthcare experts, healthcare professionals. You must be taking care of your health as well, isn't it? Just 3 days back, you might have read in the Times of India newspaper, it was on the e-paper news, that a healthcare professional, he was a doctor, and he was talking on the stage to an audience about healthcare. And he collapsed there right away because of cardiac arrest. And he died while talking of healthcare. And past, if you see, when his family was contacted, he never actually exercised. So balance is very much necessary. Doctor should never mean that I'm taking care of a lot of health of a lot of people. God will grant me good health with all his blessings. That's not going to happen, okay? He will shower some blessings on you, but not necessarily from the health point of view. You will have to bear the circumstances. So that, and lastly, I would say spirituality. Science and religion are real brothers, as Albert Einstein used to say. Albert Einstein used to say, science without religion is blind, and religion without science is lame. Both should go hand in hand. And when I'm talking to you right in front of you, I'm a man of science and a man of religion both. So I'm talking with a combination. I'll talk logic, I'll talk faith, both. We need both. And that is why these 2 parts, head is for logic and heart is for faith, isn't it? Yes or no? These 2 organs have been specially designed for these qualities. Head is for logic, applied fully. Heart is for faith and emotions, applied fully as well. When working, you need head. When connecting and relationships, you need heart, isn't it? When you decided your to-be spouse, which organ worked more, head or the heart? I'm asking my good friend, Dr. Sumul. Srinivas, again my good friend. Heart. So as Pascal, again a great scientist, he used to say the heart has reasons of its own which the head can never understand. So here lies spirituality. More than 50,000 research papers have been produced by men of science in national, international seminars and conferences on some aspects of spirituality: prayers, chanting the holy name, going to a religious place for darshan, reading the scriptures, how that helps you better your physical, mental and emotional health. 50,000 research papers. I'll just name one or two. In one or two lines, I'll give the conclusion of the research paper and I'll end. You go on the website of the University of Miami, Florida. Researchers, they have put a conclusion paper there. They did a survey for 10 years among 4,000 people. 2,000 people, group A, were believers in God. Did some prayers, some chanting the holy name, visiting a religious place. Another 2,000 people were such that they were non-believers. They would not go anywhere or would not believe in God. Fine, okay, everybody lives with their ideology. We don't have any questions for that. But what advantage a believer has over a non-believer? University of Miami research, the conclusion paper says that people who are believers, they were found to have better levels of tolerance and acceptance than the non-believers. Isn't this a big advantage in life? That you have cultivated yourself, that you can bear more. You have trained yourself that you can tolerate more. And you have designed yourself that you can accept more. That is accepting people around you, accepting natures of people around you, accepting working procedures around you. This is a big help in work-life balance, isn't it? Yes or no? It's a big help. So people with faith, they were better at tolerance and acceptance. Second, people who were believers, they were better at pursuing their short-term and long-term goals than people who were non-believers. Isn't this again a big advantage to a professional? That they are better off in pursuing their short-term and long-term goals. Again, University of Duke, US. You can go on their website and find for yourself a research where they have done a practical research, a survey. Those who go to a religious place regularly every day, or maybe twice a week, or maybe even once a month for darshan. What advantage those people who going to religious places regularly for some religious rites and rituals have over non-goers, those who don't go. We are not against any ideology. Fine. Everybody has the right to live their ideology. But the survey was this: what advantage a regular goer to a religious place has over a non-goer. You can read this on the University of Duke research. They said that a regular goer had 40% less chance of depression or stress in similar conditions than a non-goer. Isn't this a big advantage in a work-life balance? Tell me a yes or no. From the spirituality point of view. Yes or no? From the spirituality point of view, you are better off because you have lesser levels of stress and tension or depression in similar conditions as compared to a non-goer. A regular goer has about 40% less chance of a cardiac arrest or a heart disease than a non-goer. क्योंकि वे लोग मानते हैं और देखा कि जब वहां मंदिर में जाते हैं मन प्रफुल्लित होता है, साइकोसोमैटिक डिजीज से आदमी बच सकता है क्योंकि मन प्रफुल्लित हो जाता है. मन में तकलीफ है इसलिए शरीर में आती है ना. मन प्रफुल्लित है तो फिर डायबिटीज है, हाई ब्लड प्रेशर, आप सभी से बच सकते हो. तो ये सभी एडवांटेज है। तो मैंने 2 की बात बताई, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ माइम और यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ ड्यूक की बात बताई, ऐसे तो हजारों बातें हैं। सो स्पिरिचुअलिटी डज हेल्प। सम एस्पेक्ट ऑफ स्पिरिचुअलिटी हमेशा रखना, कि मंदिर में जाने से अगर इतने लाभ होते, इसलिए तो हम 22 जनवरी को अयोध्या में श्री राम मंदिर में भगवान राम की प्रतिष्ठा होगी, पूरा भारतवर्ष दर्शन के लिए आएगा। दैट इज एन एडवांटेज टू पीपल। वैसे तो मंदिर के बहुत बड़े इकोनॉमिक एडवांटेजेस भी होते हैं, वो तो हम नहीं गिना रहे, वो अभी ये वो सब्जेक्ट नहीं है। जैसे हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने बताया कि काशी विश्वनाथ कॉरिडोर बना, उसके पहले तो 70 से 80 लाख लोग काशी आते थे साल में। काशी विश्वनाथ कॉरिडोर बना तो 7 करोड़ लोग साल में आने लगे। 10 टाइम्स इंक्रीज। लोकल इकोनॉमी को कितना बेनिफिट हुआ। लोकल शॉपकीपर्स सभी के इंटरव्यूज लिए हैं कि बोलते हैं कि मेरी शॉप में 4,000 रुपये की मेरी इनकम थी महीने की, अब 15,000 की बन गई है। कोई बोल रहा है कि 15-20 हजार की थी, 50,000 की बन गई है। कोई बोले मेरे एक कमरे की कीमत तो यहाँ 75,000 की थी, आज मेरे एक कमरे की कीमत 4 लाख की हो गई है। तो इकोनॉमी भी बड़ी बूस्ट आती है, वो तो एक अलग विषय है। लेकिन कहने की बात यह है कि वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस मेंटेन करते हैं। 3 विचार मैंने आपको दिए। प्रथम विचार आपको यह दिया कि एट योर वर्क प्लेस मेक 8+8+8, मैक्सिमम ये फॉर्मूले में रहने का प्रयत्न करना। दूसरा विचार यह दिया कि कॉम्पिटिटिव या कॉन्ट्रास्टिंग मोड में मत रहना, कोलैबोरेटिंग और कोऑपरेटिंग मोड में रहना, तो काम एंड कूल माइंड का अनुभव होगा, तो यू विल एंजॉय योर वर्क प्लेस। थर्ड, गेट टू वर्क ऑन टाइम, वर्क इफेक्टिवली ड्यूरिंग योर वर्किंग आवर्स एंड गेट बैक टू योर फैमिली ऑन टाइम। और चौथी बात मैंने की, इंक्लूड स्पिरिचुअलिटी, प्रैक्टिकल स्पिरिचुअलिटी, नॉट जस्ट बिलीफ। Some prayers, some chanting the holy name regularly, that can help you a lot. Thank you very much for inviting me for this conference. My all prayers for all of you. And may you serve your patients well. May your patients get back to wonderful health visiting you. All my prayers for all of you. Thank you.